Hi guys, it's Justine, but you can call me Blondie. It is currently 12:42 a.m. It's like super late at night, but I have like a lot on my mind and I just wanted to like sit down and film something. I just took my makeup off and did skincare, so that's why I look like this. But I'm having a very difficult pregnancy this time around and I wasn't planning on doing any pregnancy updates. Um, but then some stuff has happened and I've been turning to YouTube a lot just to like find women and mothers who have been in similar situations that I am in, and it's really helped out a lot just to hear their stories and not feel so alone. And so I thought I would just go ahead and just sit down and just talk a little bit about this pregnancy because I'm having a very difficult pregnancy. For those of you who are new, I am 28 weeks pregnant, so I'm just barely in my third trimester. This is my third child. I'm having a baby girl. I have a 7-year-old son, and I have a 2.5-year-old daughter, and I'm having another baby girl this time. And she is very small. She is only in the 4th percentile. I found out that she was very small at my 20-week ultrasound, and then they scheduled me for another ultrasound after my 20-week ultrasound to check on her growth. And at that ultrasound, which was at 24 weeks, they found out that she has a single umbilical artery, which means that, so basically, most babies have in their umbilical cord, they have 2 arteries and 1 vein, and my baby only has 1 artery and 1 vein. It's really common. My doctor said it happens in 4% of pregnancies, but then pretty much everywhere else on Google it says it happens in 1 out of 100 pregnancies. So I don't really know which is right, but either way, it's pretty common, and in most cases it doesn't cause any complications, but then in other cases it can cause complications. And since my daughter is measuring so small, they think it could be causing intrauterine growth restriction, and but they don't know for sure. Like, they haven't, my doctor hasn't officially diagnosed it as intrauterine growth restriction yet, because basically, like, whenever they check the blood flow of the umbilical cord, and they check like my placenta and everything, like, it looks fine, minus, except for the umbilical cord missing an artery, but the blood flow looks fine. And so the doctor still thinks that there's a chance that the reason she's so small is just because of genetics, like because I'm so small, not because of like genetic abnormalities. Because as soon as I found out that she was so small, my doctor recommended getting genetics testing done. So I got genetics testing done, and I had never done genetics testing with my other kids, because I never had a reason to need to do genetics testing with my other kids. So I got genetics testing, and she had like 0. I just did like the blood test where they took like a sample of my blood and tested it, and that came up negative for like everything, so I never had to go on and do further like more invasive testing. So that came up negative. So like the doctor still thinks that there's a chance that the reason she's small is because I'm small, and like I have a lot of people in my family who are small. But regardless, they still have me go in every single week now to check on her, and they check on like literally everything. They check on her heart rate, they check on like to make sure she's practicing breathing, they check her size, they check how much amniotic fluid I have to make sure I'm not missing any. The main thing they check right now is like the umbilical cord, and they just make sure that the blood flow in the umbilical cord is normal, or at least as normal as it can be. And it's reassuring to go in every single week, but like every single week on the day of my appointment, I'm filled with anxiety because if anything is wrong, I have to get induced immediately. And like I said, I'm only 28 weeks. And so if I have to get induced immediately, she would be premature. And she would have to go in the NICU for a really long time. And, which is scary. I really, really hope that like she makes it to full term, or at least as close to full term as possible, so she won't have to be in the NICU for very long. And I've been really stressed out lately. I've been really scared lately, because it's like every week, every time I go to my appointment, it's like, well, I get to either go home and wait a week until my next appointment, or I'm getting induced today. And then like since she's also so small and has a single umbilical artery, not only do I have a high chance of needing to be induced, but I also have a like really high chance of needing a C-section, which doesn't bother me. I've never had a C-section before, but I have had a lot of friends who have had C-sections, and I watch a lot of like YouTubers who tell their C-section stories. So, just like knowing people who have gone through that kind of makes me feel more at ease. Like the idea of needing to be cut open doesn't scare me. When I was pregnant with my son, if I needed a C-section, I probably would have been terrified because I was 18 when I was pregnant with my son, and I didn't know anyone who had had a C-section, and I didn't watch like moms on YouTube a whole lot. But I think now, just like having all of that information and having like other women's birth stories like on YouTube and stuff, just like makes me not scared of it. The one thing I am scared of though is needing an emergency C-section, because from everything I've heard, emergency C-sections are so stressful because you usually have to get them when your baby is under stress. And so, and since this baby is small, smaller babies are more likely to have like traumatic vaginal births. And so again, I'm at like higher risk for a C-section. I'm higher risk for an emergency C-section, and it's just really stressful. Another thing that like stresses me out a lot is my son was full term, but he was in the NICU for 1 week because he had fluid in his lungs. Even though he was only there for a week and he was like relatively healthy compared to a lot of the babies in NICU, it was still the worst week of my life. It was so stressful having a baby in the NICU, but at the time he was my only child. And so when he was in NICU for that 1 week, I spent the entire week there. Like I only left to like eat, sleep, and pump. And that's the only time I ever left the NICU. The rest of like the entire week I was there next to him. But I have 2 kids at home, and so like now I have 2 kids at home. So if this baby needs to go to NICU, she'll probably need to be there for a really long time. And like I just don't know how I'm going to balance like being there with her at the NICU, but also being around for my other kids. And obviously we have like family and friends who can help with the other kids, but I just, I already know I'm gonna feel a lot of mom guilt if I am leaving them with someone else to be with the baby. And then if I'm leaving the baby at the hospital to be with them, I'm gonna feel mom guilt. And it's like, it's a lose-lose situation either way. And so I'm also like really nervous about that, especially since it's like, it's almost September, and like September and October are usually when we do all of the fun family things. Like go out and pick Halloween costumes, and we go to Halloween parties, and we go to the pumpkin patch, and we'll usually go on like fall hikes and stuff. Well, not really hikes, they're more like walks. So the kids can do them. And we just have a lot of like traditions that we do, and I don't know how we're gonna, if she's born early, I don't know how I'm going to balance doing that and doing all of our fall traditions with the other kids while also still being there for the baby. And I think that's like one of the things I'm most stressed about is balance, if she's born early, is balancing my time between all the kids. And right now things look good. Like, you know, the doctors just say that like she's small and she has only one artery in her umbilical cord, but other than that she's like healthy. She's a normal baby. So overall I'm able to remain like pretty optimistic about everything that's going on, but at the same time it's really scary. It's really scary to like not know what's gonna happen, especially because I'm a planner. I need to plan everything, and it's hard to plan when you don't know what's gonna happen from week to week. But it's scary not to know what's next, I guess. So I guess that's really it. That's all I really wanted to update you guys on. That's just what's been going on lately, and it's been pretty much the main thing on my mind lately. Like pretty much everything I do, no matter what I'm doing, that's like always on in the back of my mind, is like who knows what's gonna happen next. It's like baby's health and baby's well-being and stuff, and it's just scary. I also had like a few pregnancy videos planned that I really wanted to do, but obviously if she's born early I can't do them, which that's not a big deal. That's like the least of my worries, but still, you know, I'm probably gonna do a what's in my hospital bag earlier than most people would, since just to be prepared. And I'll probably just keep my hospital bag like in the trunk of my car for whenever I need it. And I wanted to do, oh, that was another thing, is I wanted to do well, I was gonna say I wanted to do a maternity lookbook, which I could honestly probably just film that literally in a day, just put some outfits together and film it. We'll see if I actually get to that though. And then I wanted to do maternity pictures, and my mom is visiting in October and she is a photographer, and I had the whole thing planned out to do maternity pictures. I've already bought mine and the kids' outfits for maternity pictures. But I guess if baby is born early, then I'll save the outfits and we can wear them and take family photos in them if we don't get a chance to do maternity photos. And those are the things that like don't matter as much, but they're, you know, they're definitely things that I have to think about and just be aware that, you know, my planning might change. Obviously her health is like, baby's health is first priority, but I'm just like, I'm such a planner that, you know, sometimes it's just hard for me to let go of my plans and just let things be. So that's really it for this video. I was gonna try to get through it without needing any editing, but there's been so many like pauses while I talk and gather my thoughts that I'm definitely gonna have to just do some jump cuts, so you guys don't have to like sit here and watch me while I just sit here and say nothing for 30 seconds thinking. So that's it for today's video. I just wanted to like update you guys and tell you what's going on, and hopefully, you know, if there's someone else out there kind of going through the same thing, you know, this video might help them a little bit, because I know I've been watching, like I said, I've been watching a lot of videos and they've definitely been helping me just put me in a better mindset and not feel so alone and stuff. So that's it for today's video. Tomorrow's video is also it's a makeup video. It's the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, like my recommendations, and that was already filmed and uploaded and scheduled to go live on Monday. So if you guys see this video on Sunday and then tomorrow's video seems like totally different, that's why. It's because it was scheduled to go up and this one's like more impromptu. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching and I will see you next time. Bye guys.